actually, yeah.
As you know, most of us, we vote on a personality, not on a platform. What passion drives you to the White House?
Okay, and let's take two more.
What are your thoughts about having food as a right for everyone?
And the last question?
We'd like to know your thoughts on our national debt and what is your plan to handle the de facto corporation that is the Federal Reserve.
Great. 30 seconds left.
Great. All right, these are terrific questions. I'm going to be short out of necessity, so I apologize for that. And I just encourage you all to go to my website, jillstein.org, and become part of the team. And you can also find out more there about all these and other questions and about how we go forward to actually win the day. We can win the White House. If we did that, we'd change it into a greenhouse and the world would be better off for it. But we can also win the day by moving these solutions forward. So quickly, ending homelessness. The first thing that we can do on day one is declare a moratorium on home foreclosures. Let's start with that. And we need to break up the big banks and throw Wall Street out of the White House because they're calling the shots right now on housing policy as well as financial policy and jobs and all the rest. Jeffrey Immelt, who is the head of GE, he has laid off more workers, closed more factories, and offshored more jobs than any single person in the United States, and he is the head of the President's Jobs Council. So part of, stopping homelessness is getting the predators out of the White House. Let's get the foxes out of the chicken coop so we can start designing policies that actually work for people. We need to end home foreclosures, break up the big banks, require them to actually negotiate to keep homeowners in their homes, and to bring down the principal in these mortgages so that we can keep homeowners in their homes. That's a first step. We need to bring back public housing. We need to ensure that everyone has the right to affordable housing. We have more vacant homes in this country than we have homeless people. So that tells you right there, we can harness those vacant, empty, unutilized homes, which are an incredible public resource. We can re-own them, and there are some communities that are beginning to do that through the use of eminent domain. In fact, they are reoccupying these vacant homes and enabling homeless people to actually have homes again. We have the ability to do it. What we need is a democracy that ensures that we move forward to serve everyday people whose needs desperately need to be met, not the 1% who's raking in the profits by denying those needs. Cuts to the armed forces. Let me say this. We doubled the military over the last decade without making us more secure. So we can cut back to year 2000 levels, and there are a variety of ways that we'll have to do that. It'll take a lot of discussion. Right now we spend an enormous amount of money. It's $1 trillion every year on this bloated military-industrial security complex. It's very, it is, what's the word for it? It is intelligence intensive and labor poor. So the point is, by shifting these dollars from the military to the civilian sector, we actually create way many jobs. There's a myth out there that you can't cut military jobs because you'll cut jobs. Well, the reality is, as we move those dollars into the civilian sector, we can create way more jobs than what we have in the military right now. And during the Second World War, when it was a state of emergency to come up to speed after the bombing of Pearl Harbor, you had the conversion of automobile factories into airplane factories to fight the war. Well, right now we have a war against climate change. We can actually convert the excess military bomber factories, the nuclear weapons factories, into factories to produce solar cells and wind towers and efficiency and the technology that we need right now to have a stable climate and a secure future. So this actually pays off in a big way to cut back on the military and redirect that here. Sometimes people say, so what's going to happen to veterans? And I just want to address that because it's really important that we honor and serve the veterans who have served us at incredible cost to them. So this does not mean cutting veteran services. This means actually beginning to provide for veteran services. Health care, homes, jobs, mental health care, all the rest.